Alright, welcome back. This time around we'll be working on the if-else statements or the if-else challenge. And you can see that on your dashboard, the software or the platform has indicated that you are supposed to work on this challenge. So you just click on this solve challenge and it will take you to the question. So reading the instruction, it says you are given an integer n. Perform the following conditional actions. If n is odd, print word. If n is even and in the inclusive range of 2 to 5, print not word. If n is even and in the inclusive range of 6 to 20, print word. If n is greater than 20, print not word. And so there is another constraint here. It says n must be greater than 1 and must be less than 100, which means if n is above 100, you are not going to pass the challenge. So firstly, we're going to start with the constraint. How do we do that? You can say if n, we can just put the constraint here, or we can say if 1 is less than or equal to n and n is less than or equal to 100, you can put the constraint like this, and then we can start working on the code. So we are still going to use if-else statements to test our program or to test for the condition. So what is the first condition? The first condition is that n is an odd number. So how do we test if n is an odd number? We can do that by using the modulus operator. So we can say if, let me put it in bracket, if n modulus 2 is equal to 0, if it equals to 0, it means it is an even number. But if it is not equal to 0, it means it's an odd number. So how do we write if it is not equal to 0? For instance, if 3 divided by 2 gives you, let's say 3 divided by 2 will give you 1 remainder 1, right? So 3 divided by 2 will give you 1 remainder 1. It means 3 is an odd number. So which means if 3 divided by 2 is not equal to 0, it means 3 is an odd number. So just use that as a way to remember this. So let me put it's not equal to 0. If n divided by 2 is not equal to 0, it means it's an odd number. And then the second condition, for you to print word, so this is word. Which other one do we have for you to print word? And then if n is even number and in the range of 6 to 20, print word also. So let's add that. So we can say or, put this in brackets, n modulus 2 is equal to 0, which means it's an even number, and we want it to be in the range of 6 to 20. All right, and n is greater than or equals to 6, and n is less than or equal to 20. All right, so in this case we can print word. So type word. All right, now in the other instance, we say, and bring this here so you can just use it to remember. Else, if n, we're going to the second condition where we print not word. If n is even and in the range of 2 to 5, or n is even and greater than 20, we can print not word. So we say n is even, we say n modulus 2 is equal to 0. All right, and n is greater than or equal to 2, n is less than or equal to 5. All right, or n is greater than 20. If n is greater than 20, we should print not word. All right, so we're going to run this code and see if it meets the criteria. Look at all the criteria here. When they put all of these, it should give us this results. So I'll run the code and let's see. So it says, congratulations, your code passed the simple tests. It passed test 0, it passed test 1. So test 0, now when we click on submit, it will test for other conditions that are not here. And if our code does not meet such conditions, it will raise an alarm. So let's click on submit code and see. So in all, our code passed all the tests. All right, congratulations, you are able to complete this challenge. So look at it again. Firstly, we checked that n is in this range, so it's not going above 100. And then look at all of this. All right, so thank you. We'll meet in the next video.